So, Welcome to Derry dropped episode 3, and it's still probably one of the best shows that I've seen this year. But I'm getting a creeping sort of dread, and not the good kind, about the show from episode 3. And I think one of my assessments early on, no, wrong episode, wrong picture. I think one of my early assessments on the show may prove incorrect. I found episode 3 to be a little meandering and a little unfocused. A lot happened, but I feel like it wasn't done as effectively as I wanted it to be done. I'm talking particularly the segment with the kids, present day, not the flashback. The flashback was an unexpected fun bit. We get some character building for the commander of the base. I don't remember what his rank is. I'm just calling him the base commander.
He's a
James
general.
Remar's cat, general, whatever his name is.
Was it Francis?
That's his first name, Francis.
Yeah,
it's James Remar's character.
Yeah.
That was cool. I wasn't expecting that, so that was a nice little tie-in to like the local community. Now he's back running the base and this and that, so that was kind of good. But yeah, everything the kids did this episode didn't add up and didn't punch the way the first 2 episodes did. The first 2 episodes, like whenever the kids got involved, some awful stuff happened. Like,
yeah, this was the first one where it was kind of more basic, a ghost story. It really wasn't. It wasn't the gut punch that you got from the other ones and how scary that was. But I'm guessing this would be that down episode to slow it down a little before they come up and hit it pretty hard.
I mean, I hope so, and I don't think it's because for any lack of spending, because we got a lot of monster CGI stuff in here. You get the scene in the woods, the scene at the carnival. There was definitely the spook factor. They took their shot at it. But again, and I feel like I should send these guys the memo now. We get some Winter Wolf stationery, get some letterhead going on. Like, attention, showmakers, stop shooting your title monster in broad daylight, please. Again, stop shooting your big bad in broad daylight if it's CGI. It looks stupid. It looks weightless. It's not scary, and it definitely doesn't hold up in a protracted, prolonged, 2.5 minute, 3 minute chase scene. It just doesn't, dude. It just doesn't work.
But then you're limiting.
It doesn't work.
You're limiting filmmakers on only shooting at night. Everything doesn't have to be scary at night. Murders happen during the day.
Dude, murders, but like when someone cuts you off in traffic at 2:30 in the afternoon, that's that. But there's nothing scary about having your monster chase you through the woods in broad daylight. If you're going to do it, you just can't lock the camera on it for 15, 20 seconds at a time. Give me the glimpse. Give me the claws and the teeth coming through the trees. Give me the eyes. But you putting the camera on a dolly, focusing behind the kid as he's running away to watch the monster lope after you, unless your CGI is on point, and it just hasn't been lately, don't do it. It just doesn't work for me, dude. It does not. It stands out and breaks my immersion for the show when they go that route. Like, flipped against episode 2, the scene with Ronnie and it taking the form of her mother and the umbilical cord terror. Know why that scene worked? Shit was dark. Dark, dude. If they did that at noon in the sunroom, no.
And more than likely, the umbilical cord was actually practical effects made with nylon and
disgusting
and stuff. Yeah, they probably stuffed some some sausage in there, and then a few other things.
All kinds of gangster shit was in there. But you know what I'm saying though. But that vibe worked because it was dark. Because you can't get a good glimpse of the thing when they showed the monster's face. I'm just saying
you're limiting yourself at that point. You kind of need to shoot during the day. It did not look that bad compared to some of the stuff we seen in the MCU. That was actually pretty good.
Dude, I don't want to punch down on the MCU. Looking at you, Secret Invasion. we don't need to punch that low while they're down. We all know that show sucked. But I'm just saying, dude, you got to do it Spielberg style, dude. The more you show, the less intense it gets. So if you want to do the during the day thing, you just have to be smarter about what you show in those short controlled bursts and not just like a steady stream. I got you. Everything can't be at night. That makes sense. These kids wouldn't be playing at night on a normal running around town during the day kind of thing.
Yeah.
It would get monotonous almost.
And they could never really be together. Right. I mean, they did a night one, this one. Yeah. But I mean, they can't do that every night. They have
right. No, I get it.
They actually have parents that care about them.
Yep. True.
So
I get that. I mean, they need some variety. I'm just saying you need to tactically apply your shots of the monster, and I feel like this was largely a miss in them just leaving the focus just locked in, straight on, like target painted. You know, it was just too much.
So the Oracle is out sick tonight, but she is still sending text messages from her day off.
Oh no, I just got one.
It's General Shaw.
Widow Wolf is right. Oh, it's Shaw. Okay, Francis Shaw. That's right.
That's right, Francis Shaw. Yet Pape has a comment calls him General Ajax.
Tip of the hat, if you understand. I do not get the reference. That might be a war movie thing for King Z to get. Possible. People let us know.
Yeah. I want to say Platoon, but I'm not quite sure.
That sounds about right, actually. The daytime, Pape's got another one here. The daytime stuff has to be included. Let you know that you aren't just safe just because. Dude, again, I get that, and I'm not opposed to them having the scary shit come up during the day. It's the lingering on the monster that makes it not scary. Jaws works because Alex Kintner gets eaten during the day, but you get the glimpse of the raft going under in less than 3 seconds. You know what I mean? When the kids are in the when they're in like the little lagoon part and the shark rolls in and the guy in the boat gets eaten, you get a glimpse of the shark coming sideways. You don't get it long, and then the guy goes under, and then you don't see the shark again. It's not until the big fucking reveal with the 3 guys on the boat where it comes up and takes a chomp at the cable and the buoy or whatever that you get your first look. And I go, oh, you're gonna need he's chumming. You're gonna need a bigger boat. They waited 2.5 hours to get to that point, and then I would argue they used too much of the shark even then. After the fact, especially like when Robert Shaw's character dies, but whatever, they played it safe to get there to build that tension. You know what I mean? I think just a little bit less of me chasing you for 10 minutes would improve the terror level.
It was 3.5 minutes.
It's too much. I don't want to belabor the point.
I don't think it was. I honestly think you're wrong on this one because I think it's because the filmmaker has to make it part of the day, and you have to make it a chase scene, like a real chase scene.
Hide the monster.
But you can't
hide the monster.
What are they running from? It just all you're gonna hear is noises.
No, you get it glimpses. You cut, dude. You pan low. You keep it on the monster's feet and hands as it's running after you. You get a close up on the eyes, on the teeth. You vary your shot selection. You don't just lock it in and zoom. You don't just dolly with it. You can't. It's not right. It does not work for me.
It does.
You guys are giving the show. You guys are giving this a pass. I'm disappointed in both of you. I'm telling you, I'm disappointed here. Giving it a pass. There's other stuff going on in this episode. I don't want to beat up our whole segment on the kid stuff, because we also have the spy section. Halloran stuff is starting to heat up a little bit. That almost had some major implications. The kids have
which ties into your chase scene.
Right. Listen, the show's all very well. The writing on the show is very well done. The story makes cohesive sense, which again is not something we're used to on any platform we watch other than HBO Max for whatever effing reason. Like, at least this show makes sense. They're putting together a replacement losers club, and these 4 kids, I think that they're working on a little clique that works because they don't like each other yet. It's 2 pairs of 2, and even the pair of girls, not really each other's biggest fan.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The only thing is that it does take a little bit of the pressure. Like, you have no threat on Will. You know Will makes it because he's the father of Mike. So there's no like, oh, is he going to make it through the series? Yeah. We already think that. We're going back in time.
Yeah. He's getting a pass. He's getting a pass. But them other 3.
Those other 3 is iffy because you don't really know. I think what's his name? The new boy that's with him.
Frankie? Is it Frankie? The Spanish kid. He's Cuban.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I think it's Frankie. I don't remember the names. I'm terrible with names. I know Lily, Ruby, Lily, Ronnie.
They only said his name once because he kind of enters the conversation. They never had to say his name for him to respond. He just
when he was doing the seance, they said his name to call him back.
Yeah, that's the only time
this shit up.
They actually used his name
in 2 episodes.
Yeah,
sure. I'll have to go back and check the subtitle. But I like their vibe. I like that the 2 boys, they're buddy because they're both kind of the nerdy outcast. That works. The 2 girls have beef because Lily said, I don't know, maybe your dad did it, maybe he didn't. But she's trying to undo
what
that.
What she said was, I cannot guarantee he was not around. I did not see him there.
Right. which apparently in 1955 is enough to get him thrown in jail. Clearly,
get convicted.
That was going
no,
to happen.
Actually, his skin color didn't get him convicted.
Yeah. Well, they had a good line on that too, where the Cuban kid's like, "Oh, you can't just throw him in jail for America for being out at night in black." And Will was like, "We talk about the same country."
Yeah.
Again, funny but poignant, and that's how you write good humor in that kind of situation. Like that joke works, you know.
Because in 1960, was it 1962?
Whatever it was. That's a fact, dude. Maybe 2025 in a lot of places. But the adult side of the story is picking up on the interest level because we already have the interesting stuff with the major, with the pilot, the chopper pilot.
Yeah.
So that was already the man without fear.
Halen, yeah, or Harlan. Will Harlan. Yeah, Harmon. Yeah,
you know that guy. He's already an interesting cat because he's got something that's going to make him immune to big bad, hypothetically. Like the no fear thing means he can't be impacted. Halloran is interesting because he's obviously got the shinning going on. We're going to call it the shinning so we don't get sued, Simpson style. Their paths cross this episode in a nifty way because the base commander gives him orders that, listen, today you're flying this guy around, just go wherever the fuck he says, don't ask any questions. And of course, they go up, they're flying around, the two pilots are like, okay, nothing going on. And then Halloran all of a sudden has a fit, and they call for permission to turn back, and they're like, no, dog, just keep going. He's like, I don't know, man, it doesn't look good. He might die. Let's not do that. Somebody in chat, Lauren Mary just says his name is Richie. Yes. Thank you, and welcome, Lauren.
Thank you. Yeah, welcome, Lauren.
Sorry, we kind of off in our zone, and thank you, Pape, for moderating the chat. Make Pape a mod. Can we do that? Can we mod him?
I could do that.
Make Pape a mod. Anyway, so he's going through his vision. He sees some Pennywise stuff, sees his dead grandmother with the dead lights, and starts to have a little conniption fit. But he opens the effing hatch to the back of the Chinook, and he's got his foot on the edge of the damn ramp when the pilot gets up and grabs him and kind of wrangles him back in, and then co-pilot seals the hatch up. And I'm like, dude,
no, co-pilot doesn't. That was Halloran who came back there.
No, Halloran's the dude with the shining.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
The other dude, Will's dad, whose name
Harmon. Yeah, he came back and got him. He's the pilot.
That's what I'm saying. He grabbed him, and then co-pilot, who saved his ass from getting shot in his bedroom, is the one that slaps the hatch out. He hits the emergency seal in the cockpit. Yeah. Right.
Well, that's the normal. He actually was turning the emergency.
Yeah. He was turning the manual.
Yeah, and why he has the I can open it and close it. So that's how they do airborne operations.
You deploy
out of a Chinook.
Right. So pretty tense scene, but like you said, we know Halloran survives because 15 years from now he dies at the Overlook. So I mean, what are you gonna do? But still, one of the other two guys could have died. If it had been the co-pilot that got up and went back there, that might have been a more tense scene, kind of, because I'd have been like, I don't know this fucking guy.
Yeah, that actually would have played a little bit more. You would have a little bit more. Like, are they both going to fall out? But we know Dick survives, so.
All right. So there you go. But I like where that story's going. The Army stuff, they're Air Force, right? If I remember, Air Force. The Air Force stuff is coming along because they're playing interesting stuff. So there you go. Enjoy the wrench, Pape. Enjoy the wrench. Warden Prime over there. I like where that stuff's going. They're expanding. They found a car, and then we find out that the car was used as it was part of a massacre that happened in town years before. So it's already psychically charged with bad juju from whatever awful outcome those criminals had met there. And I think those are characters that they feature in the opening too. In that animated opening, there's that one scene where like a dude's firing the Tommy gun, but he's getting shot in the back and like bleeding out of the mouth. Dude, opening credits on this show, wild, by the way.
Yeah, very wild. They have some good ones.
Yeah,
there's a few other shows that I like that have good intros. Like we talked about it on our old live stream or show we used to do, where we did our top 5 show intros.
Oh, we did do that. That's right. I don't remember what my picks were now. I'd have to go back and take a peek at them. But yeah, the interesting to this one, it's like each sells like a comic book, and as it comes at you, Pennywise is sometimes there. Sometimes there's people smiling here, but like the world's on fire behind them and shit like that. And the song is creepy as balls, dude. The song is wildly creepy. The little girl,
especially when it kind of slows down a little bit.
Yep. And it's got the music box kind of 50s jingle to it.
With all the music in this show, it's very Fallout-y, but it's also Fallout was set in this time.
Right,
so it kind of goes hand in hand with each other.
Yeah, the music selection is pretty slap. And again, and just to tie it back to Alien Earth, like we just opened the show with, it makes these songs make sense because they're period specific, so they suit the mood. They walk you out of the show with kind of like an ominous vibe based on what you've just seen. They're not randomly picking some weird Nine Inch Nails song or some weird Smashing Pumpkins song to be like, look how edgy and trendy we are. We know music from the 90s and slap it into our show. Yeah. Like, no, dude, this show has a tone and a vibe all itself, even removed from the story. Just the design of it is unique and period specific and authentic, I think.
Just a little bit on Nine Inch Nails. Their music for Tron Ares is on point.
It was all right. A little overrated, not as good as Daft Punk from part 2, but I thought it was slapping. Pape says the music is just one more thing that really helps. Exactly. That's what I mean, because it makes sense. They're not trying to pull in bands that didn't exist, genres that weren't popular. They're not trying to go out of their way to be like, oh, look, we brought industrial rock into the fifth. Like, no, stop.
Now, I could see them if they wanted a modern song, but do it with the postmodern jukebox type feel to it.
Yep. I mean, something like that could work, but I mean, at least you got to keep it period specific and focus tonally on what's happening in the show. Alien Earth tried that in 8 out of 8 episodes, and I think they only really nailed the vibe of that song to the content of the episode like once or twice, if I remember right. And I didn't like it when they did it, but I was like, at least you hit what you were aiming at.
Yeah.
You know, so to give them a vibe for that. But the adult, I just wanted to mention again, the adult part of the story here. They talk about racism in a couple of places. It's nice and subtle. It's not exactly on the, I mean, you know what they're talking about. It's not like it's subtext, like buried 9 layers deep, but no one's beating you over the head with stuff. It all makes sense. Every white person on the show isn't a token piece of shit, racist bastard in this town. You know what I mean? I'm waiting to see, because there's a minor supporting cast of other black airmen in the show. I want to see if any of them get elevated to other supporting heroes or antagonists, so I can see if maybe they get painted in a way that makes them all tokenized heroes or also one-note villains. But right now, at least when they get to that kind of stuff, it's semi-level and played straight, you know? I'm with that. Oh, definitely, yeah. Definitely pay. Exactly right. And all it does is it just puts better icing on the cake, and the cake was already good. You know what I mean? So when you add appropriate icing to it, it gets even better. It gets even better. So what do you think of the adult side of the story? What do you like? Are you digging the mystery vibe and the search vibe? Because that's basically what it is. They're trying to find Pennywise. They found a car. They're getting closer. Halloran establishes I've seen the thing, but it saw me. It wasn't supposed to see us. We need to knock this shit off or bad shit's going to happen.
I like
the warning is down.
I like the Native Indian or the Native American side of it as well. I like
interesting addition.
Which is also they're trying to hide this as well, because they know that it is too dangerous, especially Rose, the antique owner. And then tying it together, because I didn't put 2 and 2 together at the beginning when you saw them two running around, but then when they had the flashback, and then it grew into her older face and her in her antique shop, I'm like, oh, okay, that fits. But I think they did definitely hint at the racism, segregation in this, because they have their little hangout spot that's like leaking everywhere. And then they also when they're having dinner together, and they're like, it's hard enough to be in the Air Force and being a person of color during this time, so you don't want to make the uppers mad.
What was his exact line? His exact line was, your personal life needs to be cleaner than your uniform.
Yep.
And he was at dinner. But again, that's a good examination of, you've got the Harmon. Why can't I remember? Is it Harmon? Is that really his name?
Is that Harmon? It's like all right. Halloran.
It doesn't help that it's Halloran. You know what I mean? Is the other guy. But it's the Air Force captain and his wife. He's the straight-laced military guy, and she's an activist teacher. Yeah. So when Halloran comes to dinner, he's kind of playing both of them, where he's like, I can understand being an activist, that's important. But on the other hand, your husband is trying to climb the Hanlon. Dude, Lauren, thank you. We're about to, Lauren, you just earned yourself a full-time spot as our fact checker, our backup, because our girl in the chair is off tonight. She's not feeling well. So thank you again with the other name info. Since you're here and you've named 2 of the characters that I forgot, you're obviously paying attention to the show. Your thoughts on the show, we'll take them right out of the comments. We're always happy to read them out. So that 3-way conversation at dinner was good, but the 2-way conversation on the porch after was even better.
Yeah.
That was some bad stuff. You want to talk about that scene?
Oh, you could definitely tell, like, the major there is trying to figure out everything that's going on. Just everybody talks in, like, out of the side of their mouth with this.
Yeah.
They don't. No one actually tells exactly what's going on. You could piece it together, but it's like
he's trying to. He's going to.
Yeah, he's trying to get the answer of what they're actually doing while everyone else is, talking around the subject.
Yeah, because even Halloran says to him when they're up in the bird, he's like, "Hey, what's in the cigar box? You got cigars rolling in that box?" And he goes, "No." Well, what is it? You wouldn't understand. Like, dude, I'm the one flying the helicopter. Maybe I should understand before you fall out the back like you almost did.
Yeah.
But
no, and I'd be like, just fly. You just fly the bird. I'll be the human compass.
Right?
Just fly the bird.
So they got that line on the porch that wraps up that conversation because we know Hanlon's a smart dude. He figured out the guy they had locked up for the assault was a patsy.
Yeah,
because he brought the gun and he said, a pro could take this gun apart, reload, and pull it on me in less than 3 seconds. But if you're a rank amateur, it's going to take you 2 hands and you're not going to get it right. And then, of course, he instigates him, and, of course, dude can't do it. So we already know he's a smart guy. So when he pieces together, when you just asked me about my son, I had a weird feeling. And I had that same weird feeling the night in my room. So I'm going to warn you now, stay out my head. And then Halloran's like, listen, dude, I've been in people's heads. I've been in yours. That shit scared me straight. We're good. You're not the kind of guy I'm a fuck with.
It's like when I'm in most people's heads when they're about to die, they're thinking of family, regrets. You were analytic, trying to get information.
Gathering info.
He's like, you had no fear, and I know better than he used that.
He was like, you are not the kind of guy I'm a fuck with. Yeah. I think it was the first F-bomb on the show too.
Yeah.
And again, that's a tactical use of design as well. Because like when you talk like I talk, it's just punctuation. When it's dropped singularly, like how you would do it, there's emphasis to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It becomes more of an exclamation mark than a period.
Yeah.
Put Lauren up. Let's get a big one. I think this episode was a little messy with the kids, but like the character development with the Native Americans and Halloran getting pulled deeper in. Exactly. I think that was my earlier take. I might have said that before before you popped in. There was just something off with both sides of the kids' story today, whether it was the early parts of the kids trying to get together and then the graveyard scene, which I wanted to get your take on that, King, too, because I think I have similar issues that I had with the daytime monster chase. I felt like the nighttime stuff, the creature effects were okay, like the ghostly hologram things. And of course, it was the kids that didn't make it out of episode 1, I think, if I remember correctly.
It was a little bit of that plus some others. Yeah.
Yep. But it went, I think, it went on too long. And I'm like, can we just get to the part where he's in the crypt and do more time with Will in the crypt? Like we're very Spielberg in this scene. I dropped the camera, you picked the camera up. I leaned over and picked it up and threw it into a tree. Like, I don't know. It felt weird. Like it was too. It was too Amblin Entertainment for me.
You're dealing with 3 different things at the same time. One, they're trying to ride bikes in a cemetery to get away. 2,
so take away Paige French. He's out. He's already fired. Hard asshole, no wrench. He's done.
That was good.
Anyway,
that was good.
It was good. You were saying, dude, good. Roll it back.
But yeah, they were also like they're riding their bikes in the cemetery. They have the ground where it looks like it's falling over.
Yeah.
And then they have these ghouls. They don't know what they can do around them. So there was, I mean, you caught the confusion they were doing. Maybe it did run a little too long, but it was meant to be jumbled and like chaotic and them messing up. The part I didn't like is when they're riding before all of that starts kicking off and they had that fog in them. Like it looked like they were riding their bike stationary with stuff happening around them.
It did.
It didn't look good.
Yeah, it definitely didn't. I thought some of the ground rotting out as they were like the crevices opening up looked a little PS3-ish at times, but I'm like, whatever. It's like it's a hectic scene. You guys can get away with some of that. But it was just something about like it was. The rest of the show has been played straight up keeps for like terror, for tension, for constantly being afraid, for you as the viewer being afraid of what you're seeing. You know what I mean? There was something about that scene I was able to detach from feeling danger for these kids because it felt like the Goonies in that moment. It felt like E.T. with the bike chase. Like I didn't think anybody was, for whatever reason, I didn't feel like the kids were in danger at any moment. Like when we did the movie theater in episode 1, I didn't feel any danger until I saw still the blood flew, and then I'm like, oh shit, here we go. Or
Yeah,
then like Ronnie in a room, oh snap, like something might actually happen here. I felt nothing on this pass. Nothing. Not a damn thing.
yeah, I didn't actually sense any danger until Will fell into the crypt.
Yes.
And boy, that boy cannot walk and push a bike at the same time.
Nope.
But he stumbled like 3 or 4 times in that scene. It's like, come on, bro. It's not that hard. One foot in front of the other.
Level ground, dude. Level ground. You be all right. But the kids were all fine. And it's got, I imagine for kid actors, it's got to be tough. More harrowing if 2 of the 4. I mean, you don't need 2 out of the 4 to not make it out, but I mean,
there should have been more peril. They should have been in more peril. They shouldn't have been just.
They were easily evading things. Like there were no near misses,
and they weren't like really attacking. They were just pretty much floating behind them.
Right. I mean, I don't think at this point in the show, if they say they eliminated Richie already, then they're going to get the Game of Thrones accusations where you're just like, well, now you're just eliminating characters for shock value as it comes. So I get it. They're kind of a catch-22 there. But I mean, maybe one of them gets a ghost slap in the face and, loses some skin or gets cut up or something. So, there's some tangible danger going on, like we've seen previously, like with the other 2 episodes. Maybe like Demon Baby back and eats one of them. I don't know.
Yeah, if one of them grabs the bike and pulls it up into the sky and they fall and hit
nasty fall,
and then they have to make it out, and maybe they're holding their arm, like they snap their arm or something. Exactly. Something that puts them in more mortal danger than just, ooh, I'm here.
Dude, and that's what it looked like, man. It looked like the damn Haunted Mansion Disney ride down in Orlando. Like they just got the holograms floating through. One of them's upside down. And like, come on. If Lauren asks if the girl had physically hurt the kid she grabbed onto, that would exactly. But there wasn't even that. Like do a ghost burn or something. Like she grabs it, like King was saying, grab a hand on the handlebar and twist it, make them fall. Grab the ankle, they fall off, but then they get a burn on the ankle from like a ghost burn or something.
Yeah, what it has the handprint on them.
Yes,
they get marked for life.
Exactly. Anything could have worked in that moment. You know what I mean? But for it literally felt like the show dropped from like a rated R situation to like a soft PG-13 just for that sequence. And then, like King was saying, though, when dude fell all the way through into the crypt and was detached from his friends, maybe he twisted his ankle, lost his bike, something else could have been done there. But like when he was down, I'm like, okay, well, now what do? He's like, flashlight. So at least he was thinking. He's a smart kid. I like that. That was a nice touch.
Yeah, if Will had a twisted ankle, it would have made more sense of him falling over every 4 steps with his bike.
You're not going to cut that kid a break on that.
Oh, no. So are we rating each episode, or are we going to wait till the end?
Did we do that on the first 2? I don't think we did.
I don't think we did. I think we're going to wait till the end, but there is a rating out for this episode. I went to IMDb and pulled it. This is based off of 3,000 reviews, where it got a 7.7 out of 10 on this episode.
Is that a live browser up, or is that a picture?
That's a picture.
Okay, so can you flip it to the other 2 so we know what the first 2?
It's about the exact same. I think the first episode got a 7.8, and episode 2 I think was a 7.7 as well.
So it's ballpark, and it's status quo for the show. I wonder though, and again, it's tough because we're not going to have Nielsen's, we're not going to have Illuminate, we're not going to have Samba TV stuff. I wonder, because every one of these episodes, episode 3s of every show we've watched over the last 18 months, has sort of been a make or break point for viewership. Like this is either the cliff or a bit of a plateau, and then it holds out for 2-3 more episodes, and then it either bottoms out ahead of a finale, or kind of people get interested as they go in. I don't know. This, and don't get me wrong, dude. My criticisms of this particular episode have in no way, shape, or form derailed me from the enthusiasm I have for watching this next week. Like this is must watch. Must watch for Sunday or Monday night when you get around to it.
And once again, HBO delivers in their 9 o'clock slot.
Dude, it's like they print money out of that time frame. They really do. Yeah. Like they do sit on a great show, and I'm glad that we've got 8 episodes, right?
8 episodes, so there's 5 more. Next week is the halfway point.
Yeah, because honestly, like when we were talking about this show over the summer, part of me was like, there's no way this is going to be any good. It's going to be a prequel. It's going to be the Losers Club. They're going to play it safe for TV. Dude, I'm thoroughly shocked and happy to admit that I've been wrong so far. It's been probably right up there with the best horror stuff that I've seen this year. 100%, because they pulled no punches early. And if they nail without undercutting the It story that comes up in like 20 years or whatever,
27 years,
to get whatever it is, if they can land this show, then I'll put it up there as like one of the best shows I've seen in recent memory, because most of the time these prequel shows just ruin shit. You know what I mean?